Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video for the SOAPS assignment for my virtual students for the narrative of the life of Olaudah Equiano. And we're going to go over just a little bit about what it means to write out SOAPs with enough context. So, before we get into that, I do want to talk about why I have you guys do SOAPs. It's not just something that the teacher assigns to see if you can identify these things in a work of rhetoric, which to say a work of rhetoric means really anything, anything that is written or spoken or visually created. So many things have rhetoric because they have a purpose behind them. And I have you do this so that when it comes time to do a rhetorical analysis, specifically a written one, it gives you enough context and it allows you to frame your essay. And by framing it, essentially, I mean, what the essay itself is built around. By doing SOAPs, you have something that you can keep coming back to. SOAPs also gives you enough context, or I'm sorry, gives the reader enough context if you've written out SOAPs with enough detail. So I'm going to give you an example. If you want to use this one in your SOAPs analysis, you can. The speaker is Olaudah Equiano, a former slave who purchased his freedom and later joined abolitionist group the Sons of Africa, with whom he advocated for abolishing the practice of slavery in Britain. Sounds like a lot, but that's what you need. You need to explain everything that you know about that person, or at least enough context for the reader to go with. So below it says, why do SOAPs? Well, again, SOAPs frames your essay. SOAPs also lets you know what the reader needs to know before you're diving into a rhetorical analysis. And also, too, if we want to kind of be sneaky about it, SOAPs allows you to write your introduction. So I know students in the past have said, getting the introduction done is the hardest part. Well, this takes care of that for you. So again, you're going to do the same for occasion, audience, purpose, and subject. And I just want to say, don't confuse occasion with purpose. A lot of people in class were saying that, he wanted to create a book that supported the abolition movement. Well, that's purpose. That's not quite occasion. What is going on around him? What is happening that makes him want to sit down and write the work that he wrote? And any sufficient work that you read, you should be able to tell by looking at his word usage, by looking at the things he says, his diction, the tools that he uses, the way he talks, the information itself. You can glean what the occasion may be. Same with his audience. If you just kind of think about it, and I'll tell you this too, in class, some people suggested that, well, his audience may be slave owners. Not necessarily. Look at this piece and think, who did he want to receive this? Who did he want to read and more importantly understand what was in it? So we're going to look at a sample introduction paragraph. I wrote this during 5th hour today while people were doing their group work, and this intro paragraph not only sets up my argument, but it gives my reader the context that they need. So, Olaudah Equiano had a monumental task in front of him in seeking the complete and total abolition of the practice of slavery in Britain and surrounding countries. As a former slave himself who purchased his freedom, his first-hand account of his experience, as recounted in his autobiography, was essential in challenging the ideas that slavery was both acceptable and positive, especially to working-class British who have no context as to what was happening to tens of thousands of Nigerians as well as members of other African nations. Doing this would require eloquent diction, vivid imagery, and calling out the hypocrisy of, quote, nominal Christians, all of which he does in the excerpt from his autobiography where he recounts his time as a slave. So this tells you where I'm headed. It tells you the things that I'm going to analyze, for example, his eloquent diction, his vivid imagery, and calling out the nominal Christian hypocrisy. Those are the examples, the rhetorical tools I'm going to lean on and explain in my essay. But moreover, I've told you, given you the context of the work itself, his autobiography. I've given you the context of who he was. All of this is stuff that you can find if you do a thorough enough SOAPS analysis. So keep that in mind, that when you're not doing your paragraph yet, I don't think. I think you're just doing the SOAPS analysis right now. If you are doing a paragraph, then of course, follow the instructions of the assignment. Don't worry about what I'm saying right now. Um, but do something that is as thorough and contextual as what I have here. So all of this I got from the document, either the bio at the very beginning or the document itself. I figured all that on my own. I did not look outside of it. So anytime you're given a document, you have everything you need to create your rhetorical analysis. And with that being said, I will stop there because I don't want to go too far into writing a rhetorical analysis. But I will say that once your intro is done, if you look at it right here, eloquent diction, vivid imagery, and calling out the hypocrisy of nominal Christians, those are my three tools. Those are my supporting paragraphs. And so the essay is almost done. So I will, like I said, we'll probably call it there. As long as when it comes to rhetorical analysis, the most important thing is that you're connecting all the tools back to the author's purpose. How does his eloquent diction, vivid imagery, and calling out hypocrisy of nominal Christians support what his purpose is? So anyway, message me with questions.